Back here at Perry Central for the start of the 28th annual Mountain Basketball Classic. The Perry Central Choir taking center court here as we are almost ready for our national anthem and starting lineups. And we turn it over to public address announcer Wayne Sapp for this evening's festivities.
And remain standing for the singing of our national anthem and the presentation of colors. Tonight the national anthem will be performed by the Perry County Central Choir under the direction of Miss Jackie Thompson. Today's colors will be presented by the Perry County Central JROTC Color Guard. Commanding the color guard and presenting the national colors is Cadet Captain Cassandra Smith. Presenting the state colors is Cadet Second Lieutenant Ashley Couch. And performing the duties of lead and trail rifles are Cadet Second Lieutenant Joshua Combs and Cadet Sergeant Dalton Baker. Please remain standing until the colors have left the floor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Perry County Central High School at the John C. Collins Arena. Your host for the WYFB Wayne Supply Mountain Basketball Classic. This is the 28th annual, presented by Cook City and sponsored by your local Kentucky Farm Bureau agents. We would also like to thank our education sponsor, Appalachian Wireless, proud supporter of academics in East Kentucky. Tonight's first game features the Plain County Lady Tigers and the Bell County Lady Bobcats. Now let's meet our starting lineups. First with the visitors on the scoreboard, the Lady Tigers, Clay County. Starting at guard, 5'9" junior, number 3, Kelly Roberts. Starting at guard, 5'5" senior, number 11, J.C. Cotton. Starting at forward, 5'6" junior, number 14, Keisha Jackson. Starting guard, 5'7" seven-footer, number 23, Kaylee Matthews. And starting at center, our 6-foot senior, number 55, Courtney Woods. The head coach of Lady Tigers, James Birchall. Now let's meet the starting lineup from the home team on the scoreboard. The Lady Bobcats from Bell County. Starting guard, 5'4" senior, number 23, Jess Sanders. Starting at center, 6-foot junior, number 55, Zoe Taylor. Starting at forward, 5'10" junior, number 12, Kelly Smith. Starting at guard, 6' senior, number 15, Macy Moore. And starting guard, 5'8" junior, number 21, Katrina Johnson. The head coach of the Lady Wildcats, David T. Your official for tonight's game, Mr. Brian Cook, Mr. Eddie Browning, and Mr. David Connell.
And there you have it, our starting lineups in the books here as we are ready to tip off the Mountain Classic for the 28th time in history. Along with Josh McKinney, I'm Tanner Hesterberg. Partner, good to be along with you for this one.
Good to be on court side for this thing. It's always fun. Busy week for a lot of people, but a fantastic week of basketball.
6' Macy Morris, 6' Courtney Woods at center circle. Morris taps it back to a Lady Tiger, but then Morris gets it back, and the Lady Bobcats will have first possession of this ball game. Bell County in at 10-2 on the year. Only losses are to North Bullitt and Bowling Green by a combined 3 points. No losses to mountain teams. So Bell County really hasn't been tested by any teams around here yet.
We've got them ranked number 1 in the Mountain top 10, and so far this season they played like it.
Three-pointer in and out for Katrina Johnson, and Clay County gets a defensive stop and now will take possession for the first time in this ball game.
That's going to be huge for Clay County, limiting Bell County to one shot each possession. Let the big girls crash the boards.
Cotton was trying to work it down low to Kelly Roberts, but it went off the goal, and here comes Bell County. Mathis splashes a three.
Jess Sanders shooting 45%.
Excuse me, Sanders, not Mathis.
45% from downtown on the season, and that's one player that Clay County is going to have to keep an eye on if they're going to want somebody else to beat them.
There's someone who can beat you. Cotton in and out on the three. And Sanders comes away with the rebound for Bell County. Get my 23s confused. Mathis is 23 for Clay County. Here's another three in the air and no good. Missing that one for Bell County was Smith, but it's followed up and in. Katrina Johnson with her first bucket, and it's 5-0 Bell County. Three out of the corner, up and in and out for Mathis. Here comes Bell County again, looking to add to its 5-0 lead. Morris, the Kentucky signee, staring into that 2-3 Clay County zone. James Burchell saying they're primarily a zone team, Josh. They want to try to force Bell County to beat them from the perimeter.
Well, the less you can allow Morris to penetrate the lanes, the better off you are.
Taylor got a good look inside but couldn't finish, and here comes Cotton for the Lady Tigers.
Bell County also playing a 2-3 zone starting out.
Roberts missing on the three. Roberts is the second leading scorer on this team behind Cotton. James Burchell told me before the game he wants Roberts to start shooting more threes because she's a good three-point shooter, and that's been his instructions to her in practice this week, is to take more shots from behind the arc. Couldn't convert there on that one. Morris is a good three-point shooter. Couldn't spin that one in, but look at the rebound inside by Taylor, and she puts it in.
Zoe Taylor making her presence felt early down low, and now the Lady Cats picking up in some full-court pressure.
There's Roberts for Clay County. Couldn't get him on the board. Nice strong rebound inside by Woods, and she puts it up and in. Woods led the state in field goal percentage last year, 67%. She's shooting 68% this year, Josh.
She is just continuing a trend that has been at Clay County for as long as there's been basketball, and that's strong post presence.
Three-pointer no good that time by Sanders. Put back no good inside, but there again is Taylor for her second bucket. So Taylor with 4, Sanders with 3, and Johnson with 2. 9-2 Bell County. And a turnover stolen by Sanders, one-on-one with Cotton. And she can't finish. Good defense by Cotton. And Bell County misses a couple of bunnies.
I'll give credit to Cotton that time, getting back defensively. She slipped, but it was still enough to alter the shot of Sanders. And Clay County trying to find some sort of offensive rhythm, down 7 here midway through this first quarter.
We come back with a look at the replay here. Watch Woods get the rebound and put her first bucket in, Josh.
Well, that's what she's going to have to do. We talked about her in the intro in the pregame. One of the players that's going to have to step up their game to battle the size down low of Bell County. Zoe Taylor playing really well for them. But Woods, 10 points, about 7.5 rebounds a game, shooting 68% from the field, as you mentioned. And big game from her will be needed tonight for them to advance to Saturday's championship.
Bell County won the Mountain Classic last year on the girls' side, trying to make it 2 in a row. Of course, this is the second year for the true Mountain Classic tournament for the girls. Remember, they had the Invitational in 2012, which Clay County played in.
Very first girls.
Cotton with a nice crossover. Couldn't finish the three, though, and Morris, a tough rebound as she outdueled Roberts. Lady Cats really want to push the tempo, while Clay County wants to try to slow it down, make it a half-court game. Good defense on Morris so far by the Lady Tigers. Drive all the way in and count the basket for Kelly Smith. The junior, one of 3 Lady Cats averaging double figures, has her first bucket, and she'll have the chance to add to it at the free throw line as they put the foul on Summer Parker for Clay County, who checked in at the last break. That's her first, and she will go to the bench, and Woods will come back in for the Lady Tigers, who trail by 9. Smith doesn't miss many free throws, 89% shooter, but that one was no good. Clay County needs to find some offense.
They're settling for a lot of outside shots.
Roberts fell down. And a fight for the ball. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow will keep it with the Lady Tigers. Boy, Bell County very actively defensively so far, Josh.
They're really making Clay County beat them from the outside, extending the 2-3 zone just a little bit, but really denying any looks down low for Courtney Woods. And Kelly Roberts has kind of been going in and out of the post and the perimeter, splitting some time.
Each team spent most of the game in a 2-3. Cotton, a long three, couldn't dial it up. And a rebound for Bell County's Katrina Johnson, and she'll sprint up the floor. Looking for Morris, finds her inside, puts it up and in.
That is what Macy Morris does just about as well as anybody's. That little drive, fall away, bank shot. Just perfect touch on the basketball.
First basket for Morris, and all 5 starters for Bell County have now scored in this game. Good backdoor cut, but unable to scoop it in was Keisha Jackson, and Bell County off to the races again. Trying to get it down low, Johnson able to save it. Here's Morris again, and she traveled.
And if you're Clay County, Tanner, those are the shots that you have to make when you get open looks down low. You can't afford to have wasted trips down the court against a team like Bell County, so long and athletic.
Turnover you can't afford to do that either. Steal by Johnson. She'll be going to the line. Foul on J.C. Cotton, her first.
At the line, number 21, Johnson shooting 2.
Johnson, a 48.8% foul shooter, so statistically she'll be good for 1 out of 2 here. 5'9" junior, averages 6 points per game, puts the first one in. Let's take a look at our girls bracket. Of course, coming up at the conclusion of this game, Harlan City, the Lady Dragons, will take on Leslie County. Winner of that game and winner of this game will meet Saturday in the girls' championship.
Should be a fantastic girls tournament. Second year we've had a full 4-team tournament, and 4 teams that look to compete for region championships a little later this season.
I mentioned region championships. These are 2 teams, Clay County and Bell County, that have the best records in the 13th region. Cotton showing why. She gets to the basket, couldn't finish, but there's Woods for the putback, and she was fouled. Courtney Woods, a senior on this Clay County team. The Lady Tigers, according to Coach James Burchell, 4 of their top 8 players are middle schoolers. Says it's the youngest team he's ever had by far. Fortuitous role there for Woods, and she now has 3 points in this game.
That's one of the reasons that every single season Clay County's in the mix for a 13th region championship, because the feeder program is so strong and there's such consistency at the coaching positions and just that tradition that makes players want to be a part of moving forward in their careers.
Of course, James Burchell in his 9th year at Clay County won 78% of his games. They're always good defensively, as you see there, nearly coming away with the steal as the jump ball will keep it with Bell County.
With Clay County, their shots aren't falling, and you wonder if it's just maybe some nerves. I mean, they're getting some good looks, just maybe rushing things a little bit. If they can maybe get this game to single digits heading into the second, they maybe feel a little bit better about themselves.
Morris converts her 4th point. She's averaging nearly 27 a game. A Miss Basketball candidate. Of course, we have a Mr. Basketball candidate in the Mountain Classic as well, and Knott Central's Cameron Justice, as Bell County running that break to perfection. Smith finishes. She has 4, and Clay County forced to call a 30-second timeout as the Lady Tigers have fallen behind by 16 points here in this first quarter. And Josh, it gives us a chance to take a closer look at what Bell County has done so far this year. The Lady Cats won a repeat as Mountain Classic champions and end up as 13th region champions at the end of the year, something that has eluded them in recent years.
You know, they've never won a 13th region championship. In fact, played for the regional title for the first time in school history just a couple of years ago, falling to Corbin, who is the 2-time defending 13th region champion. But Bell County proving, it seems like every time out, why they're one of the top teams in the mountains and why they're one of the top girls teams in the state of Kentucky. Coach David Teague has done a fantastic job with the program the last couple of years, and they're wanting to etch their name among those annual contenders in the 13th region.
David Teague in his 6th season at Bell County won 75% of his games as Cotton goes crashing into the bench. Foul called. David Teague took over for Samantha Young back in 2009, and I had a chance to speak to him before the game and ask him a little bit about, you know, how much does it play into your girls' psyche that they haven't been able to win the region yet and go to the Sweet 16, and he says that's something the coaches more worry about and try to get the girls a little more focused one game at a time. Good feed down low, but swatted away. Believe it was Amber Jackson that came away with the block for Bell County, and then we have a foul on the other end. Boy, the Lady Cats defense just smothering Clay County so far in this game. 1 field goal and a free throw. That's been all Clay County can muster.
Great look by Cotton down low to Parker, but Parker, the defense collapsed so quickly on her on the block, and Bell County's just playing tremendous basketball right now.
Kaylee Collett misses at the line for the Lady Cats. Shelby Phillips, an 8th grader, comes on for the first time for Clay County. We've talked about their youth. James Burchell hopeful that here in a few years when these 7th and 8th graders become upperclassmen that he'll have a really special group. Under a minute to go now in the first quarter. Clay County looking to make something positive happen before we go to the second frame. Look at Cotton. Can't finish, but Kelly Roberts can. Roberts averages 12 a game. That's her first bucket.
5-second call. We'll see if this kind of gets Clay County going a little bit to close out this first quarter.
Lady Tigers have dug themselves a 14-point hole, but they got the last basket and then just forced Bell County into a turnover, something they haven't been able to do so far. Inbound to Roberts in the corner. They'll swing it back up to Cotton. Just haven't had much luck against this 2-3 zone. You got to be able to make some outside shots and attack the weak points of the zone, and Clay County just hasn't been able to figure it out yet as they'll play for the final shot of this first quarter.
0 for 7 from outside for Clay County, and they've been decent looks. They've got good shots, just haven't connected.
Cotton finally dials one in as she uses the glass.
That's one way to do it.
Under 5 to go. Morris gonna have to chuck it up from deep, and it's no good. So Clay County closes the first quarter on a 5-0 run, but Bell County still leads it by 11, 19-8 over the Lady Tigers as we head to the second quarter here in the Mountain Classic on this TV and WYMT.com. Start of the second quarter with Clay County trailing Bell County 19-8 with the basketball. Winner will get either Harlan or Leslie County in the championship Saturday. 3 no good out of the corner by Phillips, the 8th grader. Bell County having to send 5 players to the glass to combat this very good rebounding Clay County team. Good pass from Morris over into the corner to Johnson, and then a
good defense.
Turnover forced by the Lady Tigers. Boy, whatever adjustments that James Burchell made in the timeout he called toward the tail end of that first quarter for Clay County have paid dividends so far. Question is it too late?
11-point game, still a lot of basketball left, but with the way Bell County's playing, you got to make a run at some point.
Moves like that will help, though, as Kaylee Mathis scores her 5th point. Mathis averaging 8 a game. Down to a single-digit lead for Bell County. We'll see how they respond. Smith, no good on the 3, and a rebound by Roberts. Clay County trying to claw back into this one.
You know, 2 of their 3 first quarter field goals, Tanner, came after that timeout that Burchell called, and so far the second quarter's gotten off to a good start as well.
Good start does not continue there, as the 3 was no good by Phillips, who averages 2.3 points per game. Still a 9-point lead for Bell County. Lady Cats coming off back-to-back 20-win seasons for the first time in more than a decade, as Morris converts inside. Second time she's hit from right there at that spot, and she now has 6.
When you allow her to get inside the paint, that's when you're going to have problems with her, because she can take it to the glass or she can get that little 5 to 10 foot jump shot.
That's a long 2, no good by Phillips. She really likes that corner. She's taken 3 shots from there so far. Cotton behind the back pass to Phillips. Now back up top. Lady Tigers will reset the offense. Want to get it into the hands of Cotton. One of 2 seniors on this team. Lost that one out of bounds, but it was last touched by a Lady Cat, as Kimberlyn Mills checks in for Clay County. Another 8th grader for Coach James Burchell.
Well, Cotton is so quick with the basketball on defense. She's just a lot of fun to watch.
Roberts in close, got it.
Roberts.
She now has 4. Bell County's lead back to 9. Good feed inside, wraparound layup. No good, but put up and in by Zoe Taylor. At 5'11", that's a good battle between her down low and the 6-foot Woods, and that time Taylor was in the right place for the putback. Back to a double-digit lead for the Lady Cats.
Taylor's played well on the offensive end. Got a couple of putbacks, hitting the glass hard. So far, winning the battle against Clay County's Woods.
Well, this is a Clay County team that has had a lot of success in recent years, as Robert misses inside. Lady Cats have won 5 regional championships in the last 9 years, and 2 of the 3 years they didn't win it, as Katrina Johnson finishes inside for Bell County. They were region runners-up, so James Burchell has really gotten his girls to be a perennial contender in the 13th region.
There are not many programs that are annually as good as Clay County in the state of Kentucky.
All of a sudden, the jump shot's not falling for the Lady Tigers. And Bell County threatening to go back in front by a wide margin again, but a good steal. That was Roberts, who got her hands in the air and snatched the pass out of the air. Cotton, little 5-foot pull-up, and she's true. And a timeout by David Teague of Bell County. He wants a 30. And he's really getting on his girls for not getting back in transition defense.
Well, you know, Clay County, they've been able to beat the press. Cotton's been able to penetrate the lane and get inside the defense. They've just not been able to get any shots to fall through the net, and she just drives right through the defense. A little soft runner in the lane gets through for her 5th point. And Bell County, their defense, they're really quick with their hands, but they've got to do a better job of cutting off the penetration lane, especially for Cotton, who's extremely quick with the basketball.
I want to remind you that if you're home watching on your laptop or on this TV, to head on over to Twitter and send us a message about today's game. You can tweet and use the hashtag Mountain Classic for this game or any of our games all week on this TV and WYMT.com, and we may even show your tweet on the air. Don't forget to use the hashtag Mountain Classic and say lots of nice things about Josh McKinney.
I don't know what kind of nice things there are to be said, depending on who you talk to. Macy Morris right now, Tanner, came out of that timeout on the bench. Jess Sanders is a player that we've not really called a lot. She had that three-pointer in the first quarter, but has since been quiet.
Ball knocked away down low and off the leg of Taylor. And that'll get us to immediate timeout. We're halfway through our second quarter. Clay County trying to fight around and hang with Bell County here in the Mountain Classic on this TV and WYMT.com. Back here at the Mountain Classic, let's take a look at how Clay County has fared so far this season entering tonight's matchup with Bell County.
A solid 11-3 record. They're one of the better defensive teams in the Mountains, especially here in the Mountain Classic, allowing only 45, 50 points a game.
Mathis earning a trip to the free throw line. What makes them so tough, Josh?
It's just the discipline. I mean, we've seen their half-court defense here in the first half against Bell County tonight. They're a 2-3 zone. Cotton's at the top of the zone, and she's very, very quick side to side. You've got size down low with Courtney Woods and Kelly Roberts. And once you get past the top of the zone, if you can, past Cotton, you've got size down low to help her out. And they're so disciplined. They crash the boards, and they really limit the opponent's number of shots they get in a given trip down the court. But their defense is certainly tested tonight against the #1 team, in our opinion, in the Mountain Top 10.
Mathis with a couple of free throws to pull her Lady Tigers to within 9, looking to close out this first half strong in the Girls Mountain Basketball Classic semifinals. Winner has a date with either Harlan City or Leslie County, and the championship Saturday will have the call of the Lady Dragons and Lady Eagles coming up at the conclusion of this one on this TV and WYMT.com. Morris back in there for Bell County, and she loses the handle. It's another steal for Roberts.
That is the 4th turnover in the second quarter for Bell County. And Clay County trying to get as close as they've been in a while.
Oh, a good look down low by Roberts. Missed it, but then put it in. She has 6, halfway to her season average of 12 a game. Down to a 7-point lead for the Lady Cats. Clay County slowly chipping away at the lead.
Momentum right now all on Clay County's side.
Lady Tigers trailed it by 16 at one point, and they force another turnover. Bell County now with 7 of them. Roberts down low where she scored a moment ago. She'll go back to the line.
I think the message in that last timeout from Coach Birchall was get the ball to Roberts on the block. That's 3 straight trips that they've done that to their guard, Kelly Roberts. She's played well.
Roberts, the second leading scorer on the team behind Cotton. Clay County's leading scorer in this game with 7. By the way, the last foul on Alex Brock was her second, and she will head to the bench. Zoe Taylor back in there for Bell County.
And we've talked about a couple of good free throw shooters. Roberts shooting 79%, so a lot of these players, you get them at the line, they're almost automatic.
Clay County, which trailed by as many as 16, is now within 5 as we enter the home stretch of the first half. Tell you what, they've done a good job defensively on Macy Morris so far. She does have 6 points, but averaging 27 a game, and Clay County comes up with another stop. Look out, Cotton wants to run. Doesn't have the numbers, but that doesn't always necessarily stop her. She's so good in the open floor. Great speed dribble.
She wants to get the ball as quickly down court as she can.
And to her favorite target, Roberts, who now has 10 points, 8 of them in this quarter, Josh. It's a 1-possession game. How about the fight in these Lady Tigers as Morris will be heading to the line at the other end?
And, watching Morris, she doesn't seem to be frustrated, but she seems that she's not in her rhythm. She's only got 6 points on the night. She's not had a lot of looks offensively. Coach Teague's been on her about her defense.
She is a terrific free throw shooter, 91.5%. By the way, that foul was on J.C. Cotton, her second, so something to keep an eye on there.
Cotton has done a fantastic job, as well as Kimberlyn Mills, who's come off the bench. Both have done a good job defensively on Macy Morris.
Morris considered one of the 50 best high school players in the country by all the major recruiting services. Verbally committed to Kentucky before her junior season. Cotton slicing down the lane. It spun out on her, though. Oh, look at Morris zip the pass up ahead for the layup. Johnson finished. That was a terrific pass by Macy Morris. Johnson now with 8 points. Hard to defend that.
One of the many ways Macy Morris can hurt you with the basketball.
3 in the air. Mathis too strong, but an offensive rebound in the corner by Mills. Lady Tigers will get an extra possession here. Cotton down the lane. Tried to use the soft touch, but she left it short. Bell County running up by 7. Morris to the basket. Foul called. She'll have 2 free throws. Clay County fans wanted a charge, but Josh, that looked like a good call.
Defender looked to have position, but not as established. I guess you got to have your position set, and may have been moving a little bit, but nonetheless, Macy Morris at the line where she's 2 for 2 so far. Her last 2 shots were good.
Fouls on Roberts. And talking about Morris, she says that committing early to Kentucky really helped her focus and kind of put aside some of the distractions she would have if she was being recruited by a lot of major schools, as she was. Louisville was in on her recruitment as well as some other high D1 schools.
You see a lot of kids do that the last couple of years. Get the decision out of the way as early as possible. Focus on your senior season in high school and making the best of what games you got left.
Roberts on the block again. She is killing Bell County from that spot. 12 for the game, 10 in this quarter alone.
Coach Teague does not look happy about the fact that she's been able to get position on the post so many times.
Morris, long 3, no good. A foul on the rebound is going against Bell County. It's on Allison Howard. Clay County fell behind by 16, got to within 3, and now trails by 7. You figure the Lady Tigers will try to play for the final shot of the first half here, Josh.
I would think so. Be interesting to see what they do if they try to go back inside to Roberts, who has had an outstanding second quarter getting Clay County back into this ball game, or if they maybe try to find something open on the outside.
J.C. Cotton pounding the ball near midcourt. She's been quiet in this first half, just 5 points, averages just shy of 20 a game. One of the best ball handlers you'll see on this level. Under 10 to go, got to make something happen. Morris swats it out of bounds. Clay County will have it. 4 seconds remaining in the first half here in the Mountain Classic.
They were trying to get a shot off for Shelby Phillips in the corner, but great job by Macy Morris to deny her any good looks.
Roberts knocked away from behind, and then a midcourt heave by Bell County's Jess Sanders is no good, and we've reached halftime. Looked like Bell County was going to run away with it for a while, but a nice comeback by Clay County to cut the Lady Cats lead to 7, 31-24 as we go to halftime. Winner will take on Leslie County or Harlan Independent in the championship game of the Girls Mountain Basketball Classic. And we are waiting for our sideline reporter Anthony Bersalia to catch up with Bell County coach David Teague as our teams are making their way to the locker room. And now let's go over to Anthony.
County's cut it down to 7 points. What do you need to do to hold on to this lead to get the win?
Well, you know, offensively, we've rushed some things there and stuff. You know, they're playing that little matchup and stuff on us. We just rushed some things there and got standing around a little too much and, you know, one pass and a shot instead of getting our movement good. And then we got lost a few times here defensively on the backside there, and they got some easy baskets. So, you know, we got to come out with a better effort there like we had to start of the game here at the start of this third quarter.
Coach, thank you for your time. We'll see you in the second half. Tanner?
All right, Anthony, thanks. And again, the halftime score, Bell County 31, Clay County 24. We'll be back with more here at halftime of the Wayne Supply WYMT Mountain Basketball Classic, presented by Food City on this TV and WYMT.com.
Coach Burchell, you find yourself down 7 points at halftime. What do you need to do to get back into this game against Bell County?
Well, we just need to play like we played in the second quarter. You know, we came out, you know, our kids were scared to death evidently. Got down 17-2 and just didn't play at all. So, you know, we sort of got back in the game doing some things that we like to do, getting some penetration, kicking it inside. And, you know, if we can play some defense, get a few rebounds, and get a couple of decent shots, we can get back in this thing.
Have the nerves worn off from your girls? Because I know, as you said there in the first quarter, they might be a little nervous about being on TV tonight.
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time. We'll see you in the second half. Tanner?
All right, thank you, Anthony. 31-24 as we get set to start our second half. James Burchell, one of the great coaches to be around. Remember, he used to coach the boys after Bobby Keith retired. Coached them for a couple years. Bobby came back, and then, of course, it was Mike Jones after him. But it's interesting, the tie James Burchell is wearing tonight, I don't know if one of our camera guys can get a shot of it. It's the tie he was wearing when his guys won this Mountain Classic back in 1996. They all signed it for him. One of the players or his students made it for him. Just a really neat piece of history.
Hoping that Ty can bring his ladies some luck in this year's tournament.
Morris missed a three, but Taylor was there to clean it up. She now has 8 points. She's quietly putting together a good game for the Lady Cats.
Hitting the glass hard and really kind of saved her teammates on a couple of missed shots in that first half and on that last trip down.
Good drive inside by Mathis, but it was swatted away. And then on the leak out for Bell County, here's Sanders. Couldn't scoop it in, but there again to clean it up is Zoe Taylor. 4 straight to start this second half for the 5'11 junior.
And nobody just got back for Clay County. There were 3 Lady Cats from Bell County there to get that offensive rebound, and Taylor was the beneficiary of the board and the points.
And all of a sudden, Clay County back down by double digits. 3 out of the corner. No good that time by Mathis. Cotton will try a 3. She's still cold from outside. And then a foul on the rebound is going against Woods. Not the start you wanted if you're a Lady Tiger.
2 possessions for Bell County, 4 points, all from Zoe Taylor. Didn't get back on the transition defense. We'll see what kind of adjustments they make this trip down for Clay County. Nice defense.
And a steal by Mathis. Cotton running the floor. Thought about pulling up. Like you said, Josh, she's had some good looks. The ball just hasn't bounced her way.
You know what they say, keep shooting and you may just shoot yourself out of a slump, and I think that's kind of Cotton's mindset now. 5 points here in the third quarter, averaging 19.5 on the season.
Clay County trying to advance to the Mountain Classic Tournament Championship for the first time ever. Bell County trying to get back there and repeat. Lady Cats won it last year. Cotton, no good again from beyond the arc. Bell County last year defeating Leslie County and Magoffin County to win this thing.
Won both of those games rather easily.
Good on the 3 for Katrina Johnson. Her first triple. It's a 7-0 run for the Lady Cats to start this second half, and James Burchell wants 30 seconds to talk about it. Let's talk a little bit about Macy Morris for Bell County, Josh. A lot of accolades, too many to list on one chart, but we're going to try to right here.
Boy, since her sophomore year, been one of the more coveted recruits in the state of Kentucky. Signed to play with Kentucky and Matthew Mitchell a couple of weeks ago in November. And she's just really developed into one of the better all-around players on this basketball candidate. You see the numbers there, 26.5 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, averaging about 5 assists per game, 91.5% shooter from the free throw line, and a great defender as well. I know Coach Teague's been on her a couple times tonight about her defense, but comes up with a couple of steals, and she reminds me a lot of Kendall Noble. Since we're at Perry Central, bring up Kendall Noble, a stat stuffer. Assists, blocks, rebounds, steals, points, can do just about everything that is asked of a basketball player on the court.
Well, she gets it fair and square. Her dad, Lewis, of course, the boys coach at Bell County. 3 up in the air and good. That's what Clay County needed, and they finally get a 3 from Whitney Sizemore.
Well, that's got to be a big confidence boost for this Clay County team to finally get a 3-pointer to fall.
Going back to Macy Morris, of course, her mother, Patty Myers, played at Harlan and then at Transylvania. It's just in her DNA to be good on the basketball court, and that 3 is good for Jess Sanders.
Her first field goal since the first quarter.
When she hit a 3.
Averaging 10 points. She's got 6 after that bucket.
Sanders, a 4-year starter. Shot no good inside by Roberts. And then Morris on the leak out will lay it up and in.
Boy, Clay County right now just getting beat down the court, both ends.
You have to wonder if fatigue will become a factor here soon.
Well, they fought so hard to get back into that ball game in the first half to get only down by 3, and you've got to wonder how much energy that took out of them to now have to fight back even more down 16 here again.
Oh, and another snowbird. This time, instead of Morris laying it in, it's Katrina Johnson. And she's now the leading scorer in this game with 13 points. Largest lead of the game for Bell County at 18.
Well, they had just come out here in this third quarter and they said, we're going to turn it up and you're going to have to match us shot for shot. And right now, Clay County's not able to. But they've clawed back before.
Roberts double team down low, missing in close. Another fine defensive stand for the Lady Cats, looking to add to their largest lead of the game at 18. Bell County 10-2 on the year. Clay County 11-3. Morris, long three, good. I don't even think it touched the rim.
7 of 9 Bell County is shooting right now from the field here in this third quarter. Clay County 1 of 7.
First three-pointer of the game for Morris. She shoots 41% from behind the arc.
Big reason why it's a 21-point game right now.
Woods missing in close and a foul on the rebound going against Clay County. Gets us to immediate timeout. 48-27. This third quarter has been all Bell County so far. Can Clay County muster a comeback? We'll find out next on this TV and WYMT.com. Back here at the third quarter of the Girls Mountain Classic semifinals between Clay County and Bell County. Up next, Harlan City will take on Leslie County, and Anthony is standing by with Harlan head coach Derek Akau. Anthony?
Coach Akau, or Cal, excuse me. First time for your Harlan girls in the Mountain Classic in a while, I believe, or actually no, first time. Talk about what it means for your girls to be in the Mountain Classic.
Well, I mean, the girls have been looking forward to this ever since they found out it was going to be here. We've watched it the last 3 or 4 years on TV, so they're very excited. And plus, it's really great competition, so the girls are excited to be here.
You played Leslie County a few weeks ago, back in December, lost by 8 points. Talk about the adjustments you need to make to try to do better this game and come up with the win.
Well, I mean, that game was a lot of three-point shot, a lot of 3 points made. We gave up 70 points, so obviously defensively we got to do a better job tonight.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time. Best of luck to you in the Mountain Classic.
Thank you.
Tanner and Josh.
All right, Anthony, thanks. Look forward to calling that game next. You'll be in the play-by-play chair. We'll switch roles, and then Lauren Cash will be coming in as our sideline reporter.
Should be a great basketball game. Those two battled in a shootout, as Coach Akau referred to a couple of weeks ago in the Hyden's Bank Classic at Leslie County.
Three in the air, no good for Mathis. By the way, while he was talking, you may have missed a bucket by Bethany Miracle for Bell County. Back up to a 13-point lead. Lady Cats in control of this one. Excuse me, it was Alex Brock. Get my numbers straight. Morris no good on the three. Here comes Cotton, 1-on-2. Splits a couple of defenders. Couldn't lay it in. Got her own rebound, though. Boy, she's scrappy. Jumper short.
I can't imagine J.C. Cotton's had a lot of shooting nights like this one. Just has not been able to get many shots to fall. 0 of 6 alone here in this third quarter.
These two teams met last year in the regular season, and Bell County won 56-42 in Manchester. That game was on January 30th of 2014. And that snapped a 10-game Clay County winning streak in the series. Clay County had beaten Bell County 10 straight times until last year. Morris inside, puts it in.
Well, Clay County has a lot of streaks like that against a lot of teams in the 13th region. 25 points, the deficit now for Clay County.
Oh, a block inside. Bell County really ratcheting up the defense here.
Look over at Coach Birchall and his coaching staff, and they're just trying to find some sort of answer mentally as far as how to come back in this ball game, maybe slow down Bell County, but 25 points for anybody is a tough mountain to overcome with only 8 minutes left in this ball game with 1 quarter left to play.
Morris has been good in this quarter so far, and it's moves like that that show why. So tough to stop. She now has 19 points.
9 points here in this third quarter for Macy Morris. 4 of 7 from the field, just really putting it together here in this third quarter.
Roberts trying to beat the buzzer, can't do it, and that's how our third quarter will end. All Bell County 54-27 in a game the Lady Cats led by just 7 at halftime. The fourth quarter coming up next here at the Mountain Classic. Start of the fourth quarter here at the Mountain Classic. Bell County holding a 54-27 lead over Clay County. I want to thank Kentucky Farm Bureau, one of our many sponsors for the Mountain Classic. 3 in the air, no good for Bell County's Allison Howard, who's scoreless tonight. She averages about 5.5 points per game. That one rimmed out on her.
One of the few shots Bell County's missed in the second half, Tanner. 10 of 14 in that third quarter. Meanwhile, for Clay County, the cold shooting night continues. 1 of 16 in the third. J.C. Cotton, 2 of 16 for the game individually, and just have not found any answers offensively to cut back into this lead.
You are a statistical whiz.
I like numbers, what can I say?
I don't know how you keep stats and do color, but we won't be trading you anytime soon. Foul called inside. Couple of free throws coming up for Kelly Roberts for Clay County. Sarah Collins picks up number 2 for the Lady Cats.
And after that good second quarter for Roberts, she kind of cooled off in that third quarter as well, missing all 4 of her shot attempts, and it's just been a struggle for Clay County tonight.
And James Burchell saying he wants to see Roberts shoot more threes than she has been this season. 1 of 2 at the line there. Winner of this one punches a ticket to the Mountain Classic Championship Saturday night. Of course, the boys championship Saturday night as well. Bell County defending champions, and they turn it over here though. Cotton, faked out Morris, but then unable to finish inside for the Lady Tigers was Mathis. And here comes Bell County. They dodge a bullet. And a foul at midcourt as Cotton roughed up Morris.
I think Cotton faked out her own teammate on that pass. Yeah, I was able to talk to Cotton and to Courtney Woods and some of the players when they first arrived at the gym earlier this evening, and they were all excited about playing in the Classic. It had been a couple of years. They played the very first invitational game 3 years ago, and they were excited, and you wonder if maybe the nerves kind of got the better of them in that first half and just could not overcome that slow start that they had.
Oh, nice jumper there by Sarah Collins, her first basket. She's a junior. 56-28. Lead up to 28 points for Bell County. And a steal. Remember, the Lady Cats raced out to that 16-point lead in the first half. Clay County came back, cut it to 3. It was a 7-point deficit at halftime, but ever since the intermission, it's been all Lady Cats.
You know, Clay County's just had that 1 turnover here in the second half. They've just not been able to get anything to fall.
Cotton missing, but Woods there to scoop it up and in. First basket for Woods since the first quarter. Remember, she scored Clay County's first 3 points. She now has 5, and a 3 at the other end. How about that response from Kaylee Collett, a sophomore? And a timeout called. 59-30, the score now.
Burchell just
we've been talking
lost for words right here on the
That's
Clay County
right,
sideline.
John. We've been talking a little bit about J.C. Cotton for Clay County. Let's take a closer examination at some of her statistics this year.
Well, she's a fun player to watch. You see the picture, the smile on her face. She's an excitable person, an excitable player. In Battle of the Bridges in Louisville, the All-Star game, she represented Kentucky last year. She's averaging 19.5 points a game. She's shooting 42% from the field, which is a cold night for her, 5 points, but she really makes this Clay County team go, and she's firing, obviously, 20 points a game. The offense kind of revolves around her, and when she's struggling like you're seeing tonight, bad things can happen for the Lady Tigers. But she's definitely one of the more excitable players as we've seen glimpses of tonight in the 13th region, if not all the mountains, from that point guard spot at Clay County. Just continuing that long line of tradition of steady guard play for the Lady Tigers.
She was the big key that Bell County coach David Teague was worried about slowing down. And then obviously Macy Morris for Bell County. Clay County able to hold her to 10 points in that first half, but she now has 19. And very mature young lady. She said in a recent interview with the Danville Advocate Messenger that if for no other reason that she'd like to become Miss Basketball, just to kind of change the perception at Bell County. Of course, everyone knows Bell County throughout the region as being a traditional football power. You don't necessarily think girls basketball, even though they've had a good program over the last few years. Certainly they have some good folks down there that support girls basketball, but Macy was just talking about how if she would be able to win Miss Basketball, really maybe put the Bell County girls program on the map. And I thought that was very perceptive of someone her age to make an observation like that.
Well, she's certainly drawing a lot of attention just being in the conversation for Miss Basketball, and if she could win the award, it'd obviously be a big help. But I think the team would create a lot of buzz if they can get to that Sweet 16 for the first time in school history. That would really get the conversation going, and they've only got 2 seniors. Now, of course, Macy Morris and Jess Sanders are 2 big parts of this team and their recent success, but you're seeing a lot of players in this game, Tanner, and you're going to see a lot of players this season who will be back next season, who can maybe get this team to that next level and help carry on the recent success that Coach David Teague has had in Pineville.
3 in the air for Collett, no good. Follow attempt, no good inside by Collins, and then a foul. Can you name, Josh McKinney, the last Miss Basketball from the Mountains?
Oh.
There have been 6 total.
The last one from the Mountains would it have been, I'm blanking on her first name, but Sizemore at Leslie County?
Yes, but if you guess Sizemore at Leslie County, you usually have to be a little more specific because there have been a lot of Sizemores play for Leslie County.
Jody.
1999.
1999. I get half a point, don't I?
You get half a point.
Okay.
It's half a point to nothing for me right now. 30-point lead now for Bell County. They've just owned this second half as Smith puts in a couple of free throws. Her first points since the first quarter. Averages 10 a game. She's a 3-year starter. And wholesale substitutions may be coming up after this timeout. 61-30 Bell County at the Mountain Classic on this TV and WYMT.com. Don't forget to join the conversation this week at the Mountain Classic. Hop on Twitter and use the hashtag Mountain Classic, and we may show your comments on air. Clay County going right inside to Woods, misses a couple of point-blank looks. It was well defended, and Bell County comes out of there with it.
That's just how the night's gone all night for Clay County.
Lady Tigers have stuck in that 2-3 zone all game. It's been good in spells, but they've also had some breakdowns at times. But mainly when they've gotten beat, it's been in the open floor on the break, like Clay County's on now as Cotton got it to Roberts, but she misses. And now Bell County with a break of its own. Morris trying to finish, and she does. 21 for Macy.
Right at her season average.
Number 2 ranked high school player in the state of Kentucky.
I'd like to see who's ranked number 1.
I was thinking the same thing. She can do it all. Great shooter from outside, good inside presence, and a lot of folks believe she's exactly what Matthew Mitchell needs right now at Kentucky because the UK Hoops team, they have some really good athletes, but they've struggled shooting from the perimeter so far this season. How about that bounce pass from Morris to Johnson? Man, that was pretty.
With the left hand.
15 now for Johnson. I'd like to see how many are off of great passes like that one was. And then Clay County nearly threw it away. It was last touched by a Lady Cat, and 5 new players come into the game for Bell County. I'll try to pass them all along to you. Collett and Miracle are among them, as is Chelsea Frazier. Alex Brock also out there for Bell County as Cotton misses inside, and it goes over to the Lady Cats. Allison Howard, the junior, the other Lady Cat in there.
We got them all.
35-point lead for Bell County.
These are the players, Tanner, that we talked about a second ago that will be back next season, that are getting this this valuable experience against a quality team in a big-time atmosphere, a big-time game, only help this program down the road.
Deep three there for Bell County's Kaylee Collett, and it's no good. It's saved over in the corner, and then Cotton steals it back for the Lady Tigers. Woods having a little bit of trouble in the backcourt, but gets it to Cotton. They break the pressure. Cotton, a little crossover, steps back and leaves that jumper short, and it goes out of bounds over to Bell County. It seems like when Clay County has missed in this game, Josh, their shots have been short, so maybe it's a little bit of fatigue.
The second half, it's really been that way. First half, it may have been jitters. Shots were strong. It's a little bit off, maybe rushed a little bit. Second half, they've all been short, like you said. Excellent crossover step back from J.C. Cotton, but the shot was just a little bit short, and they've really fought to keep this game respectable, and it's really taken a lot out of them.
Three good out of the corner by Bethany Miracle.
You think Bell County likes playing in the Mountain Classic? 3 games they've played the last 2 years, and really none of them have all been too close.
They'll advance to the championship Saturday to take on either Leslie County or Harlan Independent. What are your early impressions, Josh, as Cotton draws a foul, about Bell County matching up with either one of those two teams?
Well, Bell County and Harlan played a couple of weeks ago, those two teams in the 52nd district, and Bell County beat Harlan rather easily at home. Leslie County, both teams are similar. Harlan and Leslie, both teams like to shoot the three. Both teams really guard-oriented, much like Bell County is.
There's a three, finally able to fall for Clay County's Shelby Phillips. She had several good looks in that first half, but just couldn't find the bottom, and finally she does for her first bucket. Less than a minute to go in the game.
Now, that being said, I don't see Harlan or Leslie County struggling as bad as Clay County has tonight at shooting the basketball.
Cotton slicing her way to the basket, and she finishes.
Her first field goal since the second quarter, only her third of the game. But she's not quit. She's played extremely hard.
Floater in the lane. Oh, a nice one. That's Lindsey Bryant, a freshman, checked in at that last break.
I think Macy Morse taught her that shot.
Might have had a little something to do with it. Cotton a three at the buzzer. It'll count. So Clay County will save face a little bit on that triple by Cotton to beat the buzzer. She finishes in double digits with 10 points, but Bell County finishes off an impressive victory over Clay County here in the semifinals of the Girls Mountain Classic. 70-38, the final score. Bell County defeats Clay County and will now face either Harlan City or Leslie County in the championship of the Girls Mountain Classic coming up on Saturday night. We'll have more after this on this TV and WYMT.com. 70-38, Bell County knocks off Clay County as Leslie County and Harlan City get set to take the floor here in the girls bracket of the Mountain Classic. Anthony is standing by with Bell County coach David Teague and junior Katrina Johnson.
Katrina Johnson, big game tonight from your Bobcats. Talk about what this win means for your program and playing in the championship again on Saturday night.
It's always a good win to beat Clay County and big teams like that. It really shows improvement on how we're doing and stuff. We're just pumped and ready to go Saturday night pretty much. Either Harlan County or Leslie, we're ready to go.
Do you think that this game against Clay County tonight can maybe carry some momentum for you all further on down the road, maybe if you meet them in the region?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we got to come out hard every game like it's our last, so we just got to put all the effort we got in it.
Thanks for your time, Katrina. Enjoy this win. The man of the hour, Coach Teague. Congratulations, 70-38 victory tonight over Clay County. Talk about playing in back-to-back championship games now in the Mountain Classic on Saturday night.
Well, yeah, it's big for our school and big for our team. That was kind of one of the goals our team had kind of set for themselves this year, is wanting to come back over here and play well and represent our team well and give ourselves a chance to defend, where we won it last year. And, we put ourselves in that position. So, who we play come Saturday night, it'll be a very tough basketball game, but, we'll try to prepare ourselves and see what comes of it.
What's an expectation you're wanting your team to get better on for Saturday night's game and the rest of the season?
Well, we talk so much all the time about just wanting to be better defensively and continually to rebound in the basketball, and also being more disciplined offensively and stuff. And I think, I've seen some good signs of that tonight throughout, especially there. And as the second half started back, we got our energy back up. So, I was proud of the kids. The effort was good.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time, and we'll see you Saturday night.
Thank you very much.
Tanner and Josh.
All right, thanks, Anthony, and good work by you in this first game. Lauren Cash will be along to work sidelines here in our second game between Harlan City and Leslie County. The two teams out there warming up right now. You see the Lady Dragons out doing their stretches as we're still about 30 minutes away from tip-off of this second game. But Josh, Bell County punching a ticket to the championship game in emphatic fashion. Was just really impressed with the way they were able to pull away from Clay County after only leading by 7 at halftime.
Jumped out to the big lead in the first half like we talked about throughout the game. Clay County fought back, was as close as 25-22 in that first half, and then down by 7 at halftime. Bell County comes out third quarter, just blitzes Clay County. I mean, they limited the Lady Tigers to 1 of 16 shooting in that third quarter. Bell was 10 of 14. That's where the big gap was really created by the Lady Cats. And 70-38 the final. 21 points from Macy Morris, 13 from Katrina Johnson. You heard Anthony talk to her in the post game, and they really limited Clay County's scoring. Only 13 for Kelly Roberts, but more than her average, but 8 points for JC Cotton, who averages 20 points a game. And it's a great defensive effort in the second half from Bell County. And if they can put a full 4 quarters together, this team can be dangerous.
All right, we'll be back to talk more about this game and preview the next game next on This TV and WYMT.com.